How surreal has this all felt, this experience these last couple of months?
I know, yeah, it's crazy. 2022 was my last year playing in the stadium. You know, I'm back here now too for my first media day here with the MEAC conference. You know, it's been a great experience. It's been a lot of work we've been putting in. There's a lot of things I didn't know that obviously being in the seat now that I know and I'm familiar with. So just looking forward to, you know, having a great year. But it's been like, what, 7 months since I've been hired. Man, shoot, we're in July. August is around the corner. I was hired in January, so I mean, time flies, and the season will be here before we know it.
What have you learned about yourself so far as a football coach?
What I've consistently learning, man. I think, you know, as being a guy that played, I'm still, you know, so young, 38 years old. I learned a lot from coaches that coached me in the past. Andy Reid for one, Sean McVay, Raheem Moore. So, you know, I just tried to sprinkle a little bit of everything from coaches that I respected, and, you know, having insights on what they did great about them being coaches, that as a player, why I respected them so much, and I just tried to implement that as far as me being a coach here at Delaware State.
For Marquis and Brian, what are some of the things that you learned right off the bat from Coach Jackson and being around him?
That's easy. He's big on doing the little things, right? You know, on and off the field. What's most important to me when he came around, being a coach, you know, everybody's focused on the player he was, but as a coach, he came in implementing little things as what you do on the field reflects what you do off the field. So, you know, we just try to walk a straight line at Delaware State and play physical, fast football.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of what he said, and being meticulous about the little things, man, that's something that we done learned about, being real detailed.
Coach, what's been some of your earliest impressions in these first 7 months, and like, what's been some of the biggest adjustments you had to make as a first year?
Honestly, I think it's not X's and O's. I think it's just being a college football coach. Playing in the league, I mean, now you go back to college, it's like you got to worry about school, you got to worry about compliance, things you can and cannot do. So I think football, honestly, for me is what I love, and you know, that's why I'm in this position. But being a head coach is just worrying about the little things, like, you know, someone getting in trouble off campus, or, you know, school and, you know, grades. So it's just really being able to keep an eye on it, but still at the same time letting them know that you're still a young man and you got to make these choices. And depending on your choices, you know, that depends on if you're going to be here or not, you know. So just really having high expectations, and the standard being the standard. I think everybody understands the standard. Coach Jack's standard is what it is, and regardless of who I am, I still got to be held to that higher standard.
Coach, you and Mike kind of following a parallel path here, you know, first-time head coaches, former teammates. What's it kind of like to do this alongside him, so to speak, you know, even though you're at rival institutions?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a brotherhood, man, that we have. We played together. I feel like in my career, he was one of the best quarterbacks I played with. You know, so our relationship that we have, regardless of us going at it, Norfolk State and Delaware State, that's still my brother. But like you said, game week, we ain't gonna talk probably. We might talk. I ain't gonna say we ain't gonna talk, but it's gonna be heated. But at the same time, it's good, friendly competition, and you know, I'm praying for his success just as well as he's praying for my success. So. But October 30th is going to be different though at the link, man. It's going to be a fun experience.
A quick follow-up for you, if you don't mind, real quick. Just you guys are elevating the profile of the conference, your institutions, and everything like that. Right. What's that mean to you? I mean, this is more cameras this media day has ever had, probably. Sure. What's that mean to you to elevate it like this?
It's an honor, man. Being in this position, I know a lot of people, you know, when I first got the position, was like, man, why would you hire Desean Jackson? He doesn't have the experience at this level. But I think just my influence, you know, being able to, you know, walk into a room full of, you know, young men they're hungry, you know, you can see the desire of them to want to win, the will, you know. So I think for these guys, man, just really giving them that example. You know, we got some great coaches that the pedigree of football we came from and what we accomplished. I mean, for these young men not to, and we're not forcing it, you know, our pedigree is our pedigree, man. We have the success. So for these young men not to follow, man, it's you know, it's only almost like, you know, you're setting yourself up for failure, because we have the answer, you know, and at the end of the day, we can't force them to do it. We just put it in front of them. If they want to follow it, they got to follow, but the percentage is very small on the men to make it to the next level. So they understand that, and they're working their butts off to make it to where they want to go.
What's it like for you to be a leader of young men?
Man, it's huge. It's an honor. I just feel like over my career, the men that's coached me, you know, even my father figure in my life, all the information I have, you know, I would be crazy not to pass it back to the youth, because I feel like the youth is, you know, that's our future. So, you know, I have young men, I have kids myself, and you know, just pouring into them and giving them the obstacles, because it's hard out here, especially being young black men. It's hard in this world. So I just think, you know, giving them the information, and it's on them to kind of deliver it and just take it how they want to take it to use it for their lives.
With you and Mike going way back, and obviously first-year head coaches, how do you guys lean on each other to kind of get through this first year? Obviously, October 30th is differently, but every other game.
I mean, I think we're going through similar things, you know, obstacles. I feel like, you know, being at HBCU, our resources, you know, our levels of communications, you know, are huge together, because something he may be going through is something I'm going through, and we got to figure out how we navigate through this thing, because we're not like the Georgias or the Oregons or these big schools, because, you know, at the end of the day we got to deal with what we got to deal with, but that's nothing to cry about. We know what we stepped into, and, you know, we got head down, chin up mentality, chest out, and, you know, we're going to attack everything, man.
What was the appeal of that about joining the MEAC conference?
What stood out? I wouldn't say nothing really stood out as far as joining it, but I think just HBCU in general, like I said, just really being able to navigate. I mean, I have a great relationship with Desean, Coach Prime, and you know, things he went through at Jackson State obviously was tough, and, you know, he had to go through it for it to help him out at Colorado now. So I think just more things like that, just knowing the information, knowing areas where it might be a struggle dealing with HBCUs, and just understanding that, and just trying to use our resources to make it better, you know, because it's nothing to get into a situation complaining, oh, I don't got this, I need to, you know what I'm saying? That's not how you're going to accomplish anything. You just got to address it and just figure out ways to accomplish what you want to accomplish out of it.
You're talking basketball. What were some of the biggest pieces of the advice that Coach Prime gave you? Just kind of came into this?
I can't give y'all the game, bro. Y'all trying to get the game before the game, bro. I think the biggest thing is, you know, Coach Prime, man, without Coach Prime, I don't think it would be possible for guys like me and Michael Vick, you know what I'm saying? So I think just knowing that for sure, the red carpet's already been laid, and it's just on us to follow it. So the insights we have is just really just going back to leading young men. And, you know, anything you would want to do in your life, or you want your kids to do, it's the same thing you got to relate to these young men, you know what I'm saying? We just want to set them up for success. So, and it's not easy. I mean, everything you go through in life is not going to be easy, and I think they understand that. The process is hard, the work is hard, and at the end of the day, I tell them all the time, I do work y'all hard, but at the end, when we get to December or, you know, November, y'all gonna remember it. Damn, Coach Jack used to make us do some crazy stuff, and then when it gets to that time, they're prepared for it.
You mentioned around the time you got hired that you weren't even looking to become a football coach. And now you are a football coach. You're looking at, you know, you mentioned what Coach Prime did, going from, you know, a short coaching stint at an HBCU up to coaching Colorado. I mean, how was your trajectory, and how you envisioned yourself sort of change over the last 7 months?
Man, I just want to be where my feet are, man. I want to be feet on land, feet right here. I can't really worry about my next destination. I just got to worry about where I'm at right now. So hopefully I do great things here, and it can set me up for wherever the future, you know, holds for me. But I definitely want to go big with this. I don't necessarily mean that's NFL. I think college is where I'm happy at right now. But you know, if it comes, so be it. But right now I'm just focused on changing this program around here at Delaware State. We are at the 6th banner for a reason. We are predicted to be number 6 in the conference. So you know, we embrace that. We love it. You know, we the underdogs, and that's how we want it. So every game you'll see an underdog, and, you know, that's how we gonna play all throughout the year.
I asked Coach Victor this question. What is your core principles? And if you have 3 or 4 things that you want your team to be,
for sure,
what do you need to be?
100%. I think, you know, so since day one, my first meeting, I sat down and had it. And I told these guys the 3 things that I would require, and that's what our team is going to have to implement, is dog mentality, your mindset, and resilience. And I think throughout the course and the process of this thing, man, you know, we may have some falls, we may have some trials and tribulations, but as long as the main thing is still the main thing, and we have that mindset, we have that dog mentality, and we were resilient about everything we do, regardless if we start the game off, we down 21-0, we up 21-0. That got to be the mindset regardless, because at the end of the day, it ain't over till that lady sing at the end of the game. So, you know, hopefully we can be on the other side where it's 21-0 and we up instead of being it the other way. But regardless of what it is, man, win, lose, or draw, that mentality is going to be the same.
For the players, what do you guys think when you heard that Desean would be your coach?
I was excited, man. I was excited. It's the opportunity of a lifetime.
I was excited hearing you was going to become the coach. You know, everybody doesn't get to play for somebody of his stature, and the jewels that they give us, it's not even just Coach Jackson. He brought in a good group of guys to help build us and coach us to where we want to go, and that's the Celebration Bowl.
So, Coach, you guys were 1-11 last year.
Yep.
For you, what's the realistic turnaround?
I mean, right now, man, we're going to win right now. I can predict no win-loss, but at the end of the day, we all know in the past 2 years it's 2-22. So that's the elephant in the room, and we addressed that and we got that out the way. But I will say it's a new era. We say it's a new era at DSU. Coach Jack era is different. The effect is different, and just the aroma is different as well too. So come out to DSU, man, to come witness it yourself.
What was one of the things that surprised you the most in your time as a college football head coach so far?
What surprised me the most? I think just the hours. And when I say the hours, on how much time you can spend with these guys. In the NFL, we don't have that rule where you can't be with these guys more than a certain number of hours. So understanding the hours and being compliant and not, keeping them longer than you can keep them, I think that was the biggest surprise. And I guarantee if you ask these dudes, they wish they could stay all day and, get to work with us, because that's the real jewels that we are giving out. But it's unfortunate because, the NCAA, they do have rules where per day we can only work with them so many hours. So, and the good thing about these dudes, man, even once we're past that time, they still stay out in the field and get extra work, where that's player-led and player-driven. So I tell my team this all the time, man, our team is going to go so far as the players take them. I could lead, our coaches could lead, but at the end of the day, these guys have to be player-driven.
Coach Jackson, what is kind of like a motto that you've been instilling in your players ahead of the upcoming season?
The motto, I just think for us is we're going to take it one game at a time. We're going to work for everything we want, and we just expecting success. We're not going to come into this season not thinking we're going to have the success. So with the success comes, obviously the preparation has to start. It has to lead first, right? You have the preparation, then you finish off with the success. So I think we're laying in bricks. We're laying that foundation right now. We're just following, what the work starts and we follow with the success.
What's your 40 time?
Probably like 4-4. I can hit a 4-4. I'm still like that. I can still probably play in the NFL if I wanted to. Real talk. Yeah, I'm like that.
Have you guys watched his highlight reels that already been done before he came here?
We were watching him.
Okay. What do you like about his game?
He's fast. He was different. But most importantly, he didn't care what other people were saying. So, us coming here, we know we're last, but we don't care about that. We come to work every day. They're going to see in the summer when we win that trophy.
Well, Dev, I would say the electricity of his game. You're saying the punt returns, cross the field, bringing it back, and then going to score. Man, you don't see that.
The coach is still young, and obviously, he can run a 4-4. Is there ever any trash talk going on in practice? Like, nah, coach, we can get you.
Man, what? Every practice, we get after it. Every practice.
For sure. He was out there racing a couple guys. I beat a guy that he lost to, so I know him faster than him.
Who I lose to? Hold on.
Jay Lally, number 3.
Man, Lally ain't beating me, man. I got the video. See, they're going to have me pull out my phone.
So you think 4-4 is
That's Mike got that.
aspirational?
He might got that. I got that 4-4 too, though.
Just overall, I know we've been talking a lot about this, but have you noticed an overall culture shift since Coach Jackson has been here in terms of how you guys carry yourself, how you guys go about the day? Is there something like that amongst the players?
For sure, yeah. They definitely bring a good energy to the campus, the group of guys that he brought. Like I said, we're around Hall of Famers or guys that played in the league, so you got to carry yourself a certain type of way to even be around, and he's a role model, and my coach is Clem Porter, so that's another role model. I've been looking up to these guys since I was a little kid, so it's just great to be around the atmosphere that they brought to our school.
Yeah, most definitely been a culture shift. Like you said, the standard is the standard, and that's the culture that we live up, playing 4 quarters of pure smash mouth football.
Sean, what was the appeal of this program? You mentioned some of the challenges that you faced. What made you want to take on the challenge?
Good question. I think for me, when people ask why would I want to take on the challenge, I said why not. That was always my quote since day one. Knowing the obstacles, I feel like it can't get no worse. The only thing we can do is go up. You know what I'm saying? So I love to bet on myself in life. I've bet on myself throughout my career, and I feel like I've done a great job betting on myself. So same predicament in the coaching world, man. It's not like I come into a position where we've been champs or we've been the top of the top. We the underdogs, and we understand that. We're going to keep that shield, and we're going to keep that on our chin every time we step on the field.
Mike said he talked a little bit with Andy after he got the job. Did you talk to Andy? What kind of conversations have they
Yeah, man. Coach Reed's been very influential. I feel like, he could take some credit for me getting this job and me being in this position as well, too, because my president actually reached out to him, talked to him, and he gave him some great insight. So, I love Andy Reid to death, man. He's a great dude, man, and being able to have relationships with guys like that, man. I feel like in my eyes, he's top 5 all-time coaches to ever coach this game. So really just taking it for what it's worth and using it. I can't overburden him as well too, because he got a job. You know, he just lost to the Eagles. You know, and I know that was bitter for him as well too. You know, so I'm sure he's like, man, trying to figure out how the heck to beat the Eagles now.
So great coaches have a great coaching staff.
Yep.
Talk about the coaching staff you assembled here at Delaware State.
Man, that was huge for me, honestly, when I got this job, to be able to put people around me to help me be successful. It's not all about Coach Jack. It's about the people I put around me. Our offensive line coach, Eugene Chung, you know, the coach under Andy Reid, the coach under Juan Castillo, and, you know, he's a first-round pick. He played at Virginia Tech. You know, he's a Super Bowl winner. So, you know, and not only that, you know, like Gil said, having Clinton Portis, I mean, our offensive coordinator, our defense, like, I think overall, our coaching staff has 60 years of NFL experience, so, and 45 years of experience in college football. So with that alone, man, it's a lot of information to pass back to these young men. Good.
Thank you guys so much.
All right, thank you guys.
Good luck.
Yes, sir. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
HBCU football.
Yep.
You've seen it. Now you see it from the inside out. The legacy of Dale State. Let's talk a little bit about helping each gentleman in his football and his life.
I mean, HBCU, man, I feel like, for me, I think that's the grit, man. That's really the importance of culture when it comes down to, you know, black men, and you know, just upholding the integrity of that shield. You know, like I say, all these years I played in the NFL. The NFL was a shield. HBCU is the shield. That's what we're a part of right now, and that's what we represent. So, just making the culture proud, making it happy, obviously putting in the work and expecting the results, but at the same time still understanding, you know, what it is that we represent, man. That's a strategic brand, and it's a lot of history. I mean, it's the 55th year of the MEAC conference, man. I'm excited to be a part of this, and in this first year, man, I think, you know, obviously DSU, we're gonna look like a different DSU, man, for sure.
Oh, some of your fans from Philly and the area,
yeah,
they can just ride over to Delaware and see you guys. Talk a little bit about that.
And that played a big part. I mean, that played a big part on me being able to come here. When I first got asked about Delaware, I'm like, where is Delaware? I didn't even really. I've been here one time. I'm not here. We're not in there. But I'm saying, when I went to Delaware, I only been there one time in my life, and that was when I was playing for the Eagles. I went down to the military base in Dover, and so honestly, I didn't know where Dover was. I didn't know where it was at. Like, I'm like, where is Delaware at? So knowing it was only like an hour and 15 minutes from Philly, from DC where I played, from right here, Baltimore where I played as well too, man, I'm like, it's great, because, you know, it surrounds so many fans that love me, that when I was playing, they obviously supported me. So like you said, now they're able to drive within a couple hours right down to Dover to see us play, man, and it's going to be a good environment though, man, because I feel like a lot of these teams, they got better stadiums than us, and that's cool, but we're going to have the edge because we're going to have all our people right here in our backyard.
So your uncle, John Taylor, he played here at Delaware State. Is this almost like a dream come true to take this job, the job that where your uncle played, where your uncle starred, and did big things?
For sure, yeah. I mean, John Taylor, you know, was at Delaware State, had a heck of a career there. He's in the Hall of Fame. Obviously played alongside of Jerry Rice for the 49ers too. So it was crazy when I was sitting with Deion. He was telling me, he's like, man, John Taylor don't get enough respect, because he was actually a baller, man. He was a dog. So being able to be right here where he went to school at, where he graduated from, man, and, you know, me being the head coach of that, I mean, like, it's surreal, man. You could have never predicted that.